Welcome to The Peak, where becoming your best self is our goal. I'm Ashley Russo. On this week's episode, an all-volunteer, donation-based nonprofit organization created to provide support to foster families in the Lehigh Valley. Then, a one-stop destination that benefits women's breast health, and how the Food and Wine Festival benefits local community college students. All that and more coming up on The Peak. Founded by CEO and master distiller Russell Fletcher, This Life Forever is the first minority-owned lifestyle brand distillery in the United States. Let's check it out.
Founder, CEO, and master distiller Russell Fletcher created his lifestyle brand in 2007. He started with wine and has since shifted to the art of distilling. Let's go get a taste.
My name is Russell Fletcher. I am the CEO and founder, along with the master distiller of This Life Forever Inc., who primarily produces Mishka Premium Vodka. This Life Forever started out as a lifestyle company, still is a lifestyle company. What This Life Forever has always been about is making sure that the lifestyle was kept up as a premium lifestyle, but still an affordable lifestyle. The way Mishka came about within the This Life Forever fold, I had an awesome office in Staten Island where we were running the multimedia company out of. And within running the multimedia company, I started watching the way the shift of the industry within media, but then also music, the way the shift was. Mishka being born out of that whole process, we needed to be able to take a look at what would be eye-catchy, what would be something that was a little bit out of the norm, and what wouldn't give people the turn off of, oh, another vodka. Ironically, with being the first African-American distiller in Pennsylvania and the second to hold the license in the nation, that was never on my mind. That wasn't even a goal that we were setting. As we checked the diversity box with the PLCB, it never came to mind because obviously that's the life that I live. That's just who I am. I know the goal for me was not to concentrate on that, but to concentrate on the product itself. The thing that makes Mishka Premium stand out and the distillery and our work stand out the most is obviously the quality of product. Us being in a space, in a niche space such as honey vodka and doing it probably the best that anyone's ever done it. But the other part about it is if you look at the backstory besides the diversity side of it, if you look at the work that we do and we consistently do in the community and the way we support the distillers locally here in Pennsylvania, but also at the same time the things that we donate to and what our backyard consists of making sure that, within the Lehigh Valley, we're keeping it conscious of that we are a community in every way.
Mishka has won many awards and has become a bartender's favorite, all while making it into the glasses of consumers at home. I'm Katie, and that was a peek at the Valley.
It's so great to see Russell's success building his brand right here in the Lehigh Valley. Up next, clothing, shoes, furniture, books, you name it, all supplied for free to foster children and their families. Take a look.
Children are our most valuable resource as a community. Children that are in foster care are just like any other children. The difference is that they've been through some really traumatic events.
My husband and I decided to become foster parents, and through that licensing process, we learned that there weren't many free resources to families outside of their daily stipend.
Foster care is hard, inherently hard. We had our first foster placement in the middle of August of 2019, and she was an emergency placement, and we had nothing for her.
When children come into care, they often come with very little. And so that can become a big burden for foster parents at the very beginning of a placement.
So it was really important to us to kind of create something that gave them those resources for free immediately when the child was placed. The Kindness Project is a nonprofit organization that provides free resources to children entering foster care and to the families that take them into their homes.
So the Kindness Exchange is just like any consignment shop or kids store, except for the main difference is that everything is free.
Many people would think automatically of diapers and wipes and clothes and other things like that, but it's so much more.
You can get anything you need for your foster children. And when I say anything, I mean anything. And if it's not available, Janae goes out of her way to make sure that it's available to you.
We have staff who volunteer and they provide equipment, toys, books.
They definitely just go above and beyond to make everyone feel welcome and special and just to serve you in the very best way they can.
The kids can come in and pick a toy or a book.
There's a kids lounge that they can play while their foster parents are shopping.
It's reassuring feeling to know that they're here to support us. They're available anytime for anything that we need.
Knowing that there's something like this to support them really encourages people to go ahead and be able to say yes when we call them with a referral for children who need a placement. They don't have to worry, do I have all of the things I need? That worry is completely taken away from them by Janae and the Kindness Project and what they've done here.
We've been in our current location, the Kindness Exchange, for 3 years now, and we are continuing to grow and serve. We have served over 700 children in foster care since we started in 2018. So we are moving to a new location. We have our own property with 2 acres, a big storage area, and a room that we're calling the Lesson Center that we are going to be expanding our free services beyond the tangible goods to provide free tutoring, music lessons, art lessons, and just a space for gathering.
It's something I always dreamed of having in the Lehigh Valley, and I'm just so thankful that Janae took this tiny little dream and turned it into this big, beautiful thing.
If there's anyone who's considering being a foster parent, I just want to make sure that they know that there's an entire community of resources available to you.
The Kindness Project can really help those kids to feel a little bit more like a normal child, and it can just remind them that they're loved, that they matter, and that the community is there for them.
What a hardworking and dedicated staff at the Kindness Project. I'm sure these resources mean so much to the foster families. Coming up, how St. Luke's provides stellar care for women who are at risk for breast cancer. The St. Luke's Regional Breast Center is the first in the nation to offer a one-stop breast cancer clinic, which provides accelerated breast cancer diagnosis with the same team in the same place.
I went to my family physician, and she is part of the St. Luke's network, and she was very aggressive about getting me to make sure that I get all my tests that I need to get. I was scheduled for a mammogram. Everything else I'm willing to do. Mammograms I'm always a little reluctant to do. Being a woman and sort of dismissing the fact that mammograms are important, they are important. They are one of the greatest tools that women has available to them. And this is just another tool in our arsenal to fight cancer in the women's community. When I got the results on the phone, they told me there was an abnormality and they needed more diagnostic testing. So what they did was offer me an appointment that same afternoon if I would be willing to drive to Center Valley, and I was very willing to drive to Center Valley.
One of the most anxious times in a woman's life is when she has a call back from a screening mammogram for diagnostic imaging. Every single woman is concerned that they're going to get the diagnosis or hear the words, "You have breast cancer." We are really excited to be offering the first in the nation rapid diagnostic breast care clinic under our one-stop breast imaging model. This model allows us to take a woman from diagnostic imaging through a biopsy and have pathology back within 36 hours or less.
I was very nervous about going in. I went in, but as soon as I met their smiling faces, I was really put at ease. The more in-depth showed that there was a mass behind my right breast. And so they took me in just a few minutes into the ultrasound. The next step in the process was that they did need to do a biopsy. And at that point I said, sure, when would you be willing to do that? And thinking it was another week or two out. And they said in about the next 5 minutes. One of the nurses volunteered to stay and hold my hand through the entire process, and she did.
The women who have gone through this clinic just remark at how simple and easy the process was. Things happened quickly, and yet through it all they felt relaxed, They felt confidence in the team. They felt confident that regardless of what the results might be, that they would be successful.
Hearing the results were benign was such a huge relief. When you think about the one-stop process, it gives you the ability to get everything done at one time so that I didn't have to worry and have my family worry. I love St. Luke's, and I am so happy they're in our community.
Every single patient who comes in, there is a singular focus on that patient by the team. You can't think of a better way to alleviate anxiety for a woman than to take a process that can often take weeks and shorten that down to hours.
I would really recommend, from one woman to another, the One Stop Breast Cancer Clinic. They offer you not only their smiles and their professionalism, they give you that sense of comfort that you are going to be taken care of, that you will have the answers that you need, and you will have a very positive experience.
Joining me is Dr. Carl Yeager, and Dr. Yeager is the Section Chief of Women's Imaging for St. Luke's University Health Network. Dr. Yeager, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
For people who are not aware, can you tell us a little bit about what the Regional Breast Center is and why it originated for St. Luke's? Because you can get your mammogram anywhere, but you've got this special place called Regional Breast Center. What makes it unique?
So the Regional Breast Center is St. Luke's Center of Excellence for Breast Imaging. It was founded over a decade ago, and it really does represent St. Luke's commitment to providing the best possible breast care in the entire region. The Regional Breast Center is a centralization of the best physicians, nurses, staff, and technologists who all provide outstanding care during every patient interaction.
When does a woman first get a mammogram? Who does she talk to about that? And how important is family history in that discussion?
Certainly that conversation and the first screening mammogram should happen by the age of 40. However, there are factors which would make that more important to have occur at an earlier age. As you said, family history is one of those factors. So a woman who has breast or ovarian cancer run in her family would be of increased risk, and therefore it would behoove her to have that conversation earlier and possibly start screening earlier, possibly in her 30s.
So if you're not sure, you need to ask, talk to your family, find out what your history is, and then of course, make sure you're seeing your regular family physician to get referred for your mammogram every year. Don't skip.
Absolutely, that's 100% correct.
So mammograms have been the gold standard for a pretty long time, but the technology continues to get better. What improvements have you seen to the technology in this field that have really helped you as a physician find more cancers earlier?
The past decade has seen incredible advances in imaging technology, starting approximately a decade ago with 3D mammography or tomosynthesis. Other technologies that have evolved in the past decade have been breast ultrasound screening, which will find an additional 2 to 3 cancers per 1,000 women screened, and fast breast MRI, which will find an additional 16 cancers per 1,000 women screened. There are new things coming down the pike, and we strive to stay at the forefront of technology. And simply put, better imaging technology allows us to find cancers which were not previously detectable.
Dr. Yeager, before I let you go, I just want to ask you, what is your approach to patient care? You really are on the forefront of seeing women at a very difficult and vulnerable time often when they're concerned about their breast health. How do you approach that, and how do you reassure them that they're in the right hands?
My approach, and the approach of all staff at St. Luke's, is to offer a personalized and compassionate care for every woman during every interaction. We strive to have an unrushed environment where a patient can ask questions and we can provide answers to those questions.
So important to know that personalized care is out there and that everybody is different, and you guys strive to figure out how to help each woman with whatever her case may be. So Dr. Yeager, thank you so much for joining us here today.
My pleasure, thank you.
Stay tuned, this is The Peak. Our community is full of artists, entrepreneurs, and leaders. Let's hear from St. Luke's President and CEO, Rick Anderson, on why he loves the Lehigh Valley. Welcome to Unscripted with Russo. We are so happy to have you here with us today. I am being joined by the CEO of St. Luke's University Health Network, Richard A. Anderson. Rick, thanks for being here.
Pleased to be here, and it's an honor.
Well, I've felt very fortunate over the years to have worked with you and many members of your team at St. Luke's. You're so approachable and you've done so many great things in your career. So I'm excited to get started. What kind of kid were you? Were you into academics? Were you into sports, music? Did you have hobbies?
Early on in my life, probably when I was, say, 10 years old, I recognized that I had a gift, and I got into swimming. I got better, and so then I moved down to a team in Pittsburgh, and we were the best in that whole tri-state area. We were good. But winning, you don't learn the lessons. And so you learn from your mistakes, and I've kind of taken that view of life with me in what I do every day here at St. Luke's. It's the ultimate organizational team sport. This is a huge team here at St. Luke's, made up of 16,000 employees, everyone doing their job.
Relationships and a people above all.
Yep.
It's a great, great lesson. I know that is the culture that you've built at St. Luke's. And now this is a whole hospital network. There's a medical school, an amazing community health department that's constantly reaching out, which I know is near and dear to your heart from your early beginnings of public health. When you think about the Lehigh Valley, what do you love about it? What do you tell people about why this is an amazing place to raise a family, have a business, receive great health care?
I do like the seasons, weather-wise, the change in the seasons. I don't like the ice and the snow. I like the warm weather. In my off time, I enjoy, I watch wrestling at Lehigh University. I like to swim for exercise. I still swim. I have a perennial garden, wildflower garden, I call it. And I like to look at them, and I get to see the birds, the wildlife, and it's a very, very, very nice garden.
Well, Rick, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all of your dedication and hard work to our beautiful Lehigh Valley through St. Luke's University Health Network. And thanks for joining us on Unscripted.
I'm pleased to be here, and I appreciate your sharing some of my thoughts with your audience.
Well, thank you to Richard Anthony Anderson for joining us here today. You're listening to Unscripted with Russo. Until next time. For the full interview, visit youtube.com/thepeaktv. And don't forget to subscribe to Unscripted with Russo on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Let's take a look at what this Northampton Community College culinary student and local chef created together. If you're not hungry now, you will be after this.
Hi, my name is Ann Badillo. I'm an NCC culinary student, and here we have Chef Christopher Heath. Tell us what we're doing today, Chef.
Well, thank you, Ann. Welcome to Paxos Restaurants, which include Top Cut, Melt Grill. Across the street we have Torre Restaurant, Blue Grill House in Bethlehem, and then we have Firepoint Grill in Newtown Square.
What are we making today, Chef?
Today we're going to be making a king salmon served with caponata, salsa verde, and lemon vinaigrette.
Yum.
So first we're going to get started with our caponata. A caponata is a classic Sicilian Italian dish. It has this feeling of a sweet and sour or an agrodolce. The eggplant is the main ingredient and then accompanied with other vegetables. We're gonna just continue to saute these vegetables just in a little bit of olive oil. We like to season as we go along to build upon those flavors. Then we're gonna add our white balsamic vinegar. As Ann continues to saute those vegetables, I'm going to start with our salsa verde. I'm going to start with 3 bunches of parsley. To that, I'm going to add some arugula, some Dijon mustard, garlic cloves, some rinsed brown anchovies that go right inside. And last, we're going to zest some lemon. We're going to add our olive oil, and then we're going to blend this until it is smooth.
This is the best part.
Look how beautiful those vegetables are. We're gonna allow these vegetables to cool completely before we add the rest of our ingredients. Let's start to cook our salmon. With our king salmon, we've simply added a little bit of olive oil to coat the fish, and then we're gonna season it with some kosher salt and a little bit of black pepper. We have a pan on medium high heat. If you have skin on your fish, we will start it with the skin side down. Once you get a golden color on that first side, we will then turn it over. Okay, our salmon has been cooked. We want to let it rest just a little bit. We're just going to put some of this caponata, put the fish right on top. We have a little bit of lemon vinaigrette here, which is simply 1 part lemon juice to 2 parts olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. Drizzle some of this lemon vinaigrette right over the fish and around the plate. And then we're gonna finish with a nice spoon of the salsa verde. Okay? So there's our king salmon with the caponata and the salsa verde.
This is an amazing dish. Thank you so much, Chef, for showing me how to make it.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure to have you helping me and being in the kitchen. You're in a wonderful program, and I wish you the best in your career.
Thank you so much.
I love the Paxos restaurants and especially Top Cut. Their food is spectacular and the dining experience is unforgettable. I'm Ashley Russo. Thanks for watching. To learn more about anything from today's show, go to our website, thepeaktv.com. Remember, every day is an opportunity to be your best self. This is The Peak. You shouldn't know.
That wasn't rolling.
Oh, so sorry. It's so great to see Russell's success. All supplied to free for... How are you, Blair? Good to see you. I was trying to just be cool, but ding, ding, ding. Thank you. Sorry, I got distracted by those cars. I was like, is that too loud? Cowboys fan. Portions of this program were paid for by St. Luke's University Health Network. The Peak TV is a production of ASR Media.
If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
To see more of The Peak TV, check out our website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and catch us on WFMZ Channel 69.